And if the world discovers this, there's no going back. Everything that you know or have ever been taught is very simply a story. Nothing can prove does not exist. That's it. What is it that you know that does not exist? Name something that you know does not exist. And see, there's the trick, isn't it? Because you were trained, you were taught exactly, precisely what they wanted you to know and what they wanted you to assume exists. It's brilliant. The whole plan was this. All that we need to know. It's very simple. There's no set of instructions. It's all 6 words. Just remember this, everybody. When we want to control everything and we want to control the world, all we need to remember is nothing can prove story doesn't exist. We get enough people or enough things telling story. There it is. It's amazing, isn't it? See, you can't think of anything that does not exist. So they supply what they need you to think about. And then, because it falls in line with those 6 words, nothing can prove story doesn't exist. Their job is done. Have a look around with everything that you know that you can't prove doesn't exist. And then look at what or who brings it into existence. That is the dead giveaway. Because you might make up shit, but you know that it's made up shit, don't you? Then they might make up shit. They know it's made up shit. But you can prove that it exists now because it's story that someone made up and that no one or nothing can prove does not exist. What you believe is what you can't prove does not exist. I'll just repeat that. What you believe is what you can't prove does not exist. See, the funny thing is, how do you prove something does not exist without first bringing it into existence? That's why nothing can prove story doesn't exist. So did you hear what I said? I said, how do you prove something does not exist without firstly bringing it into existence? How do you do that? You're going to say, well, rocks don't fly, and nothing can prove that rocks fly. But you see, it wasn't that story that said rocks don't fly that appeared. It was the flying rocks that appeared, wasn't it? For a split second, you imagined a rock. Well, now try and prove that story does not exist. It's amazing, isn't it? Everything that you know and you've been taught is controlled by one single thing. Can you guess what that one single thing is? It's very easy. It's very simple. In fact, it's quite fucking boring to even talk about it because it's too obvious that you pass over it. It's story, isn't it? The only thing that you can't prove does not exist is the only thing you have to use to try and prove something does not exist, while therefore bringing it into existence. So all that needs to be remembered is 6 words. Nothing can prove story doesn't exist. And then reread the story very carefully, or listen to what they say very, very carefully and precisely. And then, in the background, keep in mind, nothing can prove story doesn't exist. It won't make it disappear. It just makes it what it is. Story that nothing can prove doesn't exist. And I'm not talking about what the story is about. I'm talking about what it is.